And if you're in Hollywood, you can catch him working at the Improvisation or the Plaza 4 in Century City, or just drop by his apartment. He don't much care. A nice welcome now, ladies and gentlemen, George Miller.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What happens is, once in a while, I will get recognized from TV. And people will talk to me. And what always happens is, if they talk to you long enough, they always want to do the same thing. They want to tell you a joke. Maybe you can use this. So I'm going to tell you a joke now. Somebody told me it's an old joke, and you might know it, okay? This guy went to college, and he took a course called Marriage Survey 101. And the first day in class, the professor asked him, he said, "How many kissable areas do you know?" He said, 5. And a French guy in the back yelled, 119! He asked another guy, and the guy says, "I know 8 kissable areas." And the French guy in the back yelled, 119! He asked a real innocent-looking girl in the front who said, "Well, I only know 1 kissable area, the lips." And the French guy in the back yelled, 120! My mom told me that one. She's in the state hospital waiting for Beat the Clock to come on. No, actually, my mom is not in the state hospital. My dad is the one that's nuts. And he is like, what do you call it, the most meticulous person in the history of the world, to the extent of being goofy. Like, he wears glasses, you know, sometimes he's got them on top of his head, always in the case. And one other thing, he suffers from a disorder, a mental disorder. Maybe you've read about this. This is true. Sometimes people actually become afraid of their food. My dad is afraid to go to sleep. He thinks his food will suffocate him. Like how? 2 tater tots are going to sneak in during the night and jam up his nose? Neither my mom nor my dad wanted me to come to California because I didn't have very much money, so when I first got here, I went to a real seedy hotel, you know, with insects crawling around the room, and I bought some of that discount insect killer. You ever try that? What a jip. What a weak product. Boy. Had to catch the bugs by hand and then dip them in the stuff. Not a good product. Have you seen that new product? It's called Away. You spray it all over your body, you lie in the sun, the insects stay away. There's another product, Away Plus. That not only repels the insects, it actually tracks down and kills all the exact same bugs that bit you during the past 5 years. I saw that commercial on television, where I see a good many commercials. I always watch Cal Worthington, the big California automobile dealer, late at night here in Los Angeles. I think he's an interesting fellow. Here's a 1922 Oldsmobile. It has 500,000 miles on it. We have to sell it as a used car. A few years ago, there was a political commercial. The guy was running against the incumbent. I can't remember the office. And the commercials were really strange. During my opponent's 4 years, the price of hamburger increased 35%. During my opponent's 4 years, morality declined. Adulterous conduct was up 15%. Now, how did they know that? What did they do, take a survey? "Excuse me, sir, I wonder if you could tell us, have you committed adultery during the past 4 years? "Yes, I did. I found it's a good substitute when you can't afford hamburger." Thank you. And I always, besides the commercials, I like to watch those detective shows, because there's always the same scene in every show. The mayor gets mad at the chief of police because something bad has been happening around town. It's always the same scene. "Telling you, chief, something's got to be done. If the man isn't caught, he's going around the country hitting people in the neck with an axe. If that man is not caught, heads are going to roll." Another guy you see on television all the time, a lot of the talk shows, he's been on this show a lot, is Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he says, do what you want to do and the heck with everybody else. And there's a lot of books out now. They advocate that same philosophy. Your Erroneous Zones, Looking Out for Number One, How to Be Your Own Selfish Pig. There's a lot of these different books that... And they always say, get rid of your hostility. And comics are kind of a hostile group, I think. I was always wondering what it would be like if a hostile comic went into a grocery store to buy a loaf of bread. We were on the barter system, no money exchanged. "Okay, 1 loaf of bread, that'll be 1 joke, please." Yeah, all right. There was a farmer, he had a daughter. "Wait a minute, I heard that one already." "So, I never tasted bread before?" And, of course, since appearing on TV, I've been able to get a lot of work in Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace, the Riviera, the MGM Grand, and I just told a lie, okay? Because when I go off stage, my friends will say, "Well, did you really work at all those places?" No, I didn't. I could have if I had wanted to. I could have played all the big hotels. It's just that I've been real busy in my room the past few years. And one thing about working nightclubs, this might happen, I guess, at big hotels, too. At nightclubs, sometimes you'll have somebody really obnoxious. One night, I was working at the wonderful place, you probably heard of it, the Hungry Wart. I was over there. There's a big guy at the bar, like 6'4", about 240 pounds, bad-mouthing everybody. I lost my temper momentarily. And I went up to the guy and I shoved him up against the bar. I said, I don't care how big you are, you ever say anything like that in here again, I'm going to bust you right in the mouth. I was really hot. I told him, I said, now you take your guide dog and get out of here. Very sick people right in this section. And another thing is that sometimes you will meet an unescorted female at one of these nightclubs. Now, a couple months ago, boy, it was terrible. I bombed. I was in the back looking all dejected. This lady came over to me. I'd never seen her before, right? She says, well, why don't we go over to my place? I get really lonely at night. I thought, well, it's the old subtle approach, you know. So, yeah, so I go over there, see, but romantically it was unsatisfactory for her because I was too quick. Common male problem, too quick, yeah. Boy, when she had just started to moan, I was at Denny's ordering a waffle. Not a pretty story, but one that needed to be told. In comics, one more thing I should tell you is comics always overreact. Like when I left my hometown, Seattle, I'd been told by my parents there's a very large gay community down there, right? First day I'm in town, I'm in a restaurant, there's a guy right here kind of giving me the eye. I thought, well, maybe he's like that, you know. I overreacted. And I thought, well, if he says anything, I'm not going to waste any time. I'll come right out and ask. So I'm chewing and he's looking and I'm chewing and he's looking. And finally he says, say, would you please pass me the salt? I said, yeah, here you go. Are you gay? He said, no. Do they use a lot of salt?
Tonight's show will continue right after this message, folks. George Miller is with us this evening. You look terrific.